Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson, two former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. Today, we are going to be recapping two massive outcomes in FCS football, as well as some other additional headlines that you might have missed. Reminder that today's episode is presented to you by FanDuel. If you're going to be betting on college football this weekend, make sure to head on over to FanDuel. They've got a lot of odds and picks that you can place. There's actually some FCS games that you can even bet on if you didn't know that. Make sure to head on over to FanDuel, again, if you're going to be betting on college football. Sean, we got to talk first about Montana's win against Idaho, because I think that this game, well, the North Dakota State game, which we'll get to, has implications on it. It was such an ass whooping. It's just affirming what we talked about in the preview. Like, hey, this team might be one of the best that we've seen in a while. But Montana, Idaho, 41-30. Montana gets the win at home. And I think that this really establishes where Montana fits in this reshuffling in the top four, where it's one team does something impressive, then another team does something impressive. It's just this constant battle to prove who's the best team.
Yeah, it's. I think we should talk about this game pretending that one of these teams won't have to play North Dakota State later down the line.
Right.
And that makes it more fun because Montana, fun team. Idaho, good team, fun team. They got beat. They got beat bad in this one. Montana had it definitively. The box score doesn't show how strong the Grizz were in this one. And Ayat has come so far in such a short amount of time this season. From what he looked like at the end of last year, he must have really focused up really focused up, matured as a quarterback in the offseason, in training camp, because what he's doing is really good. It's not special. I'm not saying that this is the next FCS first round.
All right, just tell us he sucks, man.
But it's really good stuff. I'm trying to look, people are very excited.
Montana, it's not special. He's meaningless.
Montana fans are very excited about it. And I they're tweeting me, and it's great. It's really great. 17 for 23, 223, a touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Just doing his job, exceeding the expectations still, managing the game, but not a game manager. It's good stuff from him. It's a really good start for the Grizz to have a quarterback. Last year, they had the team. The quarterback wasn't really solidified, and I think that hurt them mid-season to be able to find form. They were still winning games. You could win games with Fife or Ayat last year, and you would have figured it out, but you don't have the full cohesion there. Now, this year, it feels like they do, especially Eli Gilman just continuing his dominant tear, and Michael Wortham getting in, one on the ground, one receiving. It's good stuff. This offense, they keep on playing together for the next 7 weeks. Really, really a threat in the FCS landscape from Montana.
Yeah, I think that the big part here is with Ayat emerging as a reliable starter, when last year he was incredibly shaky, and then there was the whole back and forth rotation, musical chairs happening at quarterback. It felt like a big reason why they tailed off at the end last year was because there wasn't a consistent direction of leadership in the locker room. And I think that Ayat's really stepping up as the way he played in this game, 17 of 23 for 223 yards, a touchdown, one passing, one rushing. The Wortham touchdown that he threw, I thought was really nice. Those are the types of passing touchdowns that really can open up your offense in the red zone. I am really impressed by Wortham, and I know that we can give a lot of praise to Eli Gilman, but I want to just give a recognition for Wortham. I talked about how Junior Bergen's gone. Is this the next iteration of Bergen? And he's really turning into that because he's this multi-use weapon that they can just use in so many different ways to cause problems in the red area when they're on the goal line, that they can just find ways to get him the rock that he is going to produce. I really think that this Montana team is starting to hit their stride, and it all comes down to Eli Gilman being a dude. 27 rushes for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. When I was watching this game as I was dozing off last night, they threw up on the screen that when Gilman goes over 100 yards, they're 10-0. So continuing to feed Eli Gilman and having him on the field is going to be the driving force continually for their success.
God, that feels right. That stat feels right. I'm not, obviously, you'd expect it to be correct, but the feel of it is, if we've talked about Montana having a weird loss, feels like Gilman was either not in or didn't play well or didn't get the 100. when he does, you can't stop this team. Really, really good stuff. And Idaho is a good team. They had a really good resume walking into this one. They have a lot of talent. Joshua Wood, not the best day passing, 50% completion percentage, 262. He got it done on the ground, 3 rush touchdowns, but it was junky. It wasn't the Idaho that we had seen the last couple weeks that was really putting it up on teams. Nate Thomas only 70 yards also. It's a good defense for Montana. It's in Montana. I understand that it's going to be a savage environment to go and try to execute offense in. So I'm not too down on Idaho. I don't think anybody really should be. They still have the pieces. They got the receivers that are good. Wood is going to keep getting better. It's a great matchup. It was a good one. It's good to be able to talk about a good FCS game, even though it wasn't that good through 3 quarters. 2 big-time matchups, not a huge disparity between the two. I think Idaho bounces back. I think Montana keeps rolling. It's a really good launch point in Week 5 for both of these programs.
I mean, speaking of launching, holy crap, North Dakota State launched themselves through the face mask of South Dakota. We kind of talked about this in the preview, that South Dakota seemed a little off. They didn't really seem as consistent as they once were.
Yeah.
And reliable as they once were. And most importantly, talked about the revenge spot here for the way that the season finished, where North Dakota State should have won at the end of last year, and South Dakota played a little bit of an upset to that. 51-13. I think that this game was exemplified by the rumbling first down that Cole Payton had that's been going a little viral on X, where I'm pardon my French here, I wrote this down in the notes and I have to say it. He fucking killed multiple people. He hit one guy so hard he dropped his ass and then kept running. And then one guy was on the ground injured after the play. Quarterbacks aren't supposed to be able to do that, man. Quarterbacks aren't supposed to be like a tight end, like Gronk running you over when you try to tackle him. That man murdered 2 people on the field. I watched that play multiple times. I keep watching it. I just keep going, shit, what? This dude, I don't mean to keep cursing like that, but that got me so fired up when I saw it the first time. Then I watched it like 4 more times today.
They are an absolute beast. North Dakota State is a juggernaut. It feels like, God, how did it happen already? How is it Week 5 and it's already, this team is unstoppable.
Yep.
The offense has found its rhythm. Cole Payton is already looking like a Walter Payton finalist, or candidate finalist. He's in the mix. First year leading this team on offense. He's in the mix through 5 weeks. It's really good. They're really good. I mean, we had the discussion on Thursday or last week about North Dakota's overall ranking in college football. They're going to keep rising, man.
Yeah.
This is really, really interesting how good this team is, and it's unreal to kind of see an FCS team have this much consistency, this much dominance, and they still keep it quiet at times. Like Bryce Lance, 4 catches, 98 yards, a touchdown. But without that, it's just a piece. Even though he's one of the best receivers in the FCS on that team, he is just a piece, which it's shocking how good they are. It really is.
I am legitimately troubled. I haven't done my ballot yet, but I'm legitimately troubled with the task of figuring out, do I want to go North Dakota State 1 or South Dakota State 1? I think at the current moment, I'm going to keep South Dakota State at number 1 and North Dakota State at 2, because there still needs to be recognition for the quality of the victory that South Dakota State had over Montana State. But man, it's making it really hard. This is yet again one of those instances where it's 1A, 1B.
You're a braver man than me.
Please don't yell at me. Everyone.
I don't have it. Yeah, I have North Dakota State at 1. They haven't moved.
You haven't? Oh, I moved them up after the Montana State win. That was just too impressive to ignore.
It was really good.
But here's the thing. You whooped South Dakota, but the reality is South Dakota wasn't really that good of a team this year. That was one of my preseason takes that I've stood by, that I thought Bauman was great, but the rest of this team was kind of barf, and they're barfing all over themselves.
You're not going to see a lot of pushback from me on that debate, but I just seeing what I'm seeing from North Dakota State, they're just a 1-1 in my opinion.
Well, South Dakota really wishes they could delete that performance, and maybe they should be calling DeleteMe, who is a friend of ours on this show. For those who obviously know us, I'm a very anxious person. I am very careful about making sure my information doesn't get swiped or anything. So having someone as reliable as DeleteMe to lean on is absolutely amazing. DeleteMe makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off of your data. Your data is a commodity, and anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But now you can protect your privacy with DeleteMe. The New York Times Wirecutter has named DeleteMe their top pick for data removal services. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go join DeleteMe.com/pro. Use promo code PRO at checkout. The only way you can get 20% off is go join DeleteMe.com/pro and enter code PRO at checkout. That's join DeleteMe.com/pro, code PRO. All right, let's keep talking about this FCS landscape. Speaking of Montana State, who we just talked about, they absolutely walloped EWU. That's not what I wrote down on the doc.
I was wondering.
Walloped. 58-3. One of these games where affirms the dominance of Montana State, where the minute that they caught their stride, they just blew past Eastern Washington. One of those also games that puts into perspective that I guess the new age is not meant for EWU to succeed. I guess NIL is needed. The red field is not enough.
Yeah, it's rough. EWU is typically better when they have an NFL receiver on their team. That helps. Yeah, losing their quarterback last year hurt. Montana State still very good. It's just the class of the FCS. That's what this little segment I think has been, from the Montana, Idaho, North Dakota State, Montana State discussion, a little bit as South Dakota State in there. That's the class of the FCS right now. There's no questions about it. EWU is like a Big Sky team getting drubbed like that. That's the same conference. You're sitting here like, oh well, we got to keep, we'll keep on working through our schedule, Big Sky schedule, and then 58-3. Nice. We just had 58 dropped on us. That's tough. That's a bad Sunday to have to go and run gassers at. Oh my God. Just the thought. You're just like, I just got the shit beat out of me. I'm running on this red turf. I'm getting vertigo. I'm so sore. I got to get my legs out. And coaches are yelling at me because we just got drubbed like that. Bad Sunday for EWU.
Absolutely bad Sunday. It's also a bad Sunday for this idiot cornball across from me who hates Presbyterian. 41-0 over Moorhead, who sucks, who you thought was going to give him a little bit of a challenge.
I thought they were going to give some bump.
5-0. Blue Hose, respect the boys. I also have to add in here, though, in the Pioneer League, we've got quite the battle happening between blue teams. I was gonna come up with a conference name, but I don't think that we're not gonna do that because there's too many blue teams.
Gotcha.
Cool. San Diego at a 30-27 win over St. Thomas. So the Pioneer League race is heating up.
What was this, the Sean FC Estimates miss segment? Is that what this breakdown is?
Idiot.
Yeah, I thought Moorhead was going to give some more bump. 41-0, stand up. Awful. Blue Hose, 5-0 is strong. Jesus. I mean, they're ranked. I have them on my top 25. I have them there. That's all you can ask from me at this point. I'm not going to sit here.
They should be number one.
I'm not going to say something like that.
I don't know. The disrespect.
That's so crazy.
They at least should be receiving votes to be the number one team in FCS football.
That's not even as crazy because that's so out of left field. But if somebody were saying, oh, well, I think they're in the teens. I think they're rankable in like
at least
18,
third.
19. They're not I'm not going to have a serious conversation about where.
They're at least the best hose-related team in college football.
I would agree on that. I can agree on that.
Unless somebody could find me another hose team.
I don't think there are many.
Or like has some sort of a gardening affiliation of some sort. Why are they called the Blue Hose?
Haven't we done this break before? 41-0 is not nothing to sneeze at though. And then
we did do this. Presbyterian College is called the Blue Hose. It's not even for the cool reason, because early 20th century sports writers dubbed the team the Blue Stockings due to the blue socks they wore, and the term hose was used interchangeably with stockings over time, eventually being shortened and officially adopted by the student body in the 1950s. The nickname later took on additional meaning, signifying fierce Scottish warriors, reflecting the college's Scottish heritage. That was unexpected. Wouldn't have guessed that there's. It's also kind of troubling. They don't wear blue socks. They weren't wearing blue socks in this game. That's kind of bullshit, and that makes me really upset that they're the blue socks and they're not even wearing blue socks.
That should be a rule.
It would have been. Yeah, it should be a rule, and it would have been kind of sick if they were called this because they were like known as a gardening college or an agricultural school, and they took pride.
What if they created the fire hose? Something
that
like
would have been sick.
God, stockings, pantyhose, the blue pantyhose, 41.
Oh no!
State, huh?
No, I feel like you're gonna give them bulletin board material.
I'm not trying to give. That's what they are.
I'd say you'd end up in their hype video, but I looked on their social media. They do not have a social. I don't think they have the budget for a social.
Hey, Presbyterian, clip me. Go ahead. I'll start getting disrespectful. Clip me. I dare you. I dare you, Presbyterian.
Things are heating up in the Pioneer League. Other important outcomes, though, across FCS football. Western Carolina is picking up some steam. Our boy Teron Dickens, 26 of 40, 427, 4 touchdowns, and a win over Campbell, 42-35. We also got Mercer bouncing back, and they're starting to build a little bit of momentum after they beat ETSU 38-34. CJ Miller goes for 172.
Yeah, good start for good bounce back for Mercer. Western Carolina getting right with Dickens is solid. He's good enough to get them fully in the mix, to get them competing with anybody, putting up the numbers that he does and having the games that he's having. Western Carolina is now a threat for every other team that they play because they can put up a big crooked number. Mercer was, the biggest embarrassment of my first 3 weeks of the season. Them getting right is good. They got a decent record. They're gonna stay in the mix also. So it's strong. It's a good week for both these teams that were written off early by me to come back and actually start becoming important again. Maybe you start getting ranked again. Maybe you have a big ranked win. And now we're having conversations about you that are positive and not just what happened to them. The what happened to them conversations aren't that fun. I like the look at them coming. Look at them go.
By the way, reminder to everybody, of course, today's episode is presented by FanDuel. Shout out, I will not dox this listener, but we had a listener send us. I'm being very honest here, and this is kind of embarrassing to admit this. I didn't know the depth of the FCS bets that were available on FanDuel, but one of our listeners sent us a parlay with North Dakota State, Western Carolina, ETSU, Jackson State, and Lamar on here, and he cashed out on a $10 bet with plus 1,800 odds. So you're not just getting the base level FBS games. If you guys want to bet on FCS and you want to use our awful information and bad picks and if you want to use Sean's bad predictions as well, you could go money line on all these games and put together a nice sexy FCS parlay, which maybe we should start doing at the end of these shows. But just a reminder to head on over to FanDuel. Here's one that's a little sad for the FCS world. I didn't get caught up in this. I thought this was really stupid. I mean, it was fun. UTRGV was something, and they were this upstart team that was winning some games, but they weren't playing anyone. They were just kind of scheduling the local vocational schools and just saying, "Hey, do you guys want to come out and get worked and then leave?" And they finally played a team. They played SELA 45-31. They suffered their first loss. SELA 3-2. Mr. Carson Camp had a pretty good game for those who remember him from his days at South Dakota. Yeah, I'm not bought into the UTGRV bit. UTRGV. I like them because they're a 5-letter acronym team. That's just so much fun. They were America's sweetheart. That's all it takes to get your attention is acronyms.
You know what? If you're on a broadcast team and you have to say UTRGV instead of University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and they're both longer than any other sports name, I'm going to kind of think you're America's sweetheart. Now it's Presbyterian. Sickos Committee can't stay off Presbyterian's jock. How about UTRGV, please? How do we get in on them? But I guess good for SELA. Humbling them. Letting them put up 31 points, though. A little concerning. But for the most part, they've been a decent story to track. New to the FCS. Exploded on the scene with some big numbers. And now they're going to enter back into reality. But you get some nice investment. The football program gets momentum. And then maybe we're talking about UTRGV, not in an ironic sense.
XYZWHR.
That's right.
UIW, Incarnate Word, had a pretty good win. This is where now I'm perplexed because I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this information. They beat highly ranked ACU 38-7. EJ Colson was fine, but now they've found their defense. I don't know what to do. I'm not putting them back in my rankings. I would feel quite off just suddenly being swayed by that. I need a little bit more from them. I don't know if I should feel completely out on ACU. This is the one score of the week that we always get in FCS where it just completely turns everything on its head. I
love this EJ Colson guy. Comes in, is doing the exact opposite of what Incarnate Word was doing to start the season. He's protecting the ball. He's completing his passes, and he's doing good. 3 touchdowns, quick maths, over 200 scrimmage yards. He's doing good. And if that continues, Incarnate Word could be a rankable team again because they have the talent, they have the bones, they have the players. ACU I think they had to just have slept on them, taken them completely not for granted, and we're not prepared for what Colson had. Not a lot of tape on him, so he could have shaken him a little bit, but for the most part, Incarnate Word being this confusing is very frustrating because we bought in, we bought out, and now you're telling me to buy back in again? I'm doing the Michael Scott snip, snap, all the vasectomies. It's too tough right now. It's very difficult to try to analyze this Incarnate Word.
Where did that come from?
You didn't never say The Office?
Oh, I don't remember that quote.
Yeah,
you guys, it was an Office quote.
I got 3 vasectomies. You know what that does to a man? Snip, snap.
I didn't register that
you keep on going back. Yeah, you vasectomy, reverse, and then, again. But I'll keep on explaining other people's jokes. That's always funny for the audience. Hey, love that. God damn it. But I guess good for Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
Just give me something I can actually sink my teeth into with this team. Give me a real stability team that I know where you're at. Because right now, you're in the nebulous of good and bad. We're really good here, really bad in other games.
Give us some good, Sean, by closing this out. Before we actually close out, I do have something very funny I found that I'm really pissed off it took me this long to find that's FCS related. Could you share with us fat stats, though, before I get to that?
All right, let's get into fat stats. We'll hit a grimace tracker, and then we'll get to Joe's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fat stats, not a ton of them this week. Well, not a huge fat stats week, but we got some of them. Western Carolina quarterback Teron Dickens, 26 for 40, 427, and 4 touchdowns. How about Cade McNamara?
Oh, my God, wait, sorry. This Dayton quarterback name, holy shit. Good luck.
Yeah, hey, why are you jinxing me? You're mushing me here.
Oh, no. That's okay, no disrespect to my boy. No disrespect to my boy, but
hijacked you.
This is the hardest name to pronounce that we've ever been given on the show.
Well, let's hear what Cade McNamara did. 29 for 46, 398, 4 tuds, 2 interceptions. Dayton quarterback Bryce Schondelmeyer. 29.
Oh, you kind of hit that one.
19.
You kind of hit it.
Oh, boo. You just hit the whip?
You're the one who hit it.
Oh, my God. To a 19 for 23. I'm not going to try it again. 333 yards, 5 touchdowns. Alcorn running back Jacorian Sewell, 23 carries, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lehigh running back Luke Yoder, 25 carries, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mercer running back CJ Miller, you heard it once, you heard it twice. Almost had that nice line. 29 carries, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. The only receiver on this list this week. Dayton wide receiver Michael Massari, 8 catches, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Wait, I want to really see if I can. Hold on a second. Bear with me. Schondelmeyer. Oh, so you did get it. It was Schondelmeyer.
There we go.
Yeah, mid-show pronunciation check, which we probably should be doing.
Was that the Dayton announcement?
Yeah, it was a Dayton play-by-play guy.
Be more nasal on the call, please.
I'll go with Schondelmeyer. I'll take Schondelmeyer. Okay. Give me some Schondelmeyer.
I'm going to go with Western Carolina quarterback Teron Dickens. And now, briefly,
yes.
Let's check in with the Grimace Conference. Not a great week for the fellas. 4-7 in week 5.
Oh, ACU cooked us, and St. Thomas, and Albany cooked us, and Holy Cross is 0-5, by the way. At least Western Carolina and Furman did something.
I guess so. Look, fellas, get it together. You're playing FCS now. We cannot have sub 500 weeks when all of the grimace is playing FCS competition. Can't have it. Top down, fix it. 29-27 overall in the FCS. Still only 12 losses to FBS opponents. 29-39 on the young season.
All right, to close this out, I found this on TikTok. CSG Bobcats on Twitter before the Oregon game. I'm so pissed I just found this. He tweeted, "How confident am I in the Bobcats against Oregon next weekend? I'll walk 1 mile for each point the Cats lose by in a single day. This team is not going to roll over, period." The final score of the game was 59-3. So the TikTok video that I found was this individual walking 50 miles in a single day. Did you see this?
I think I did see this. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but then I heard CSG Bobcats. I'm like, where the hell have I heard that before?
That I've never seen the guy's account before. That to me, I'm so pissed we didn't talk about that week 1 because that is awesome.
Good work, sir. Way to stand by your word.
We would do.
What, you think I'm walking 50 miles?
Well, maybe.
I'm breaking down after driving 4 hours and 4 hours in the air. Body's shutting down.
Was it a 4-hour drive?
It was 2 hours in the air to Athens or to Atlanta. 2 hours on the ground to Athens, turning around the next day, 2 hours back to Atlanta, 3 hours in the Atlanta airport, 2 hours back here.
That doesn't sound fun. Well, you're here. You're alive. We'll be back on Wednesday or Thursday this week at Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, at Hack City Pod, 201-834-4308. Call in with your questions. We'll talk to you later.